The silence is wrong. Kale feels it in his bones. A hollow space where the hum of insects and the rustle of small life should be. He crouches lower in the elephant-high ferns, his grip slick with sweat on the fire-hardened shaft of his spear. Ahead, the herd of Gallimimus grazes, their movements jerky and nervous, heads snapping up to scan the savanna that stretches towards the distant, tooth-like mountains. They are the clan's lifeblood, meat, sinew, and bone for the tools of their survival. But today, a current of fear runs through them that has nothing to do with the two-legged hunters hidden in the foliage. Kale's clan, the people of the Red Ochre, are masters of this terrain. They know the wind's secrets and the earth's language. Yet this new quiet is a word they do not understand. A single, sharp chirp cuts through the air from the west. It is answered by another from the east, a near-perfect echo. The lead Gallimimus freezes. Its great, bird-like eyes wide with panic. The herd explodes, not away from Kale's hunting party, but directly towards the game trail they had intended to use for their own ambush. It is a mistake. A fatal one. From the tall grass, a blur of motion erupts. Not one, but 6 feathered shapes. Sickle claws gleaming in the harsh sun. The velociraptors move with a chilling synthesis of reptilian speed and mammalian cunning. They do not mob their prey. They guide it, using their bodies and piercing calls to channel the stampeding animal into a narrow ravine. It is a pincer movement, elegant and brutal. The late Gallimimus goes down in a cloud of dust and a shriek that is cut Vingram short. The raptors do not look at the humans. They simply drag their prize into the shadows. A silent, contemptuous dismissal. Kale gives the signal for retreat, a low whistle that mimics the marsh wren. The hunters melt back into the undergrowth, their hearts hammering a rhythm of dread. As they move, they see it. A flicker of striped tail here, a glimpse of a feathered head there. The pack is not leaving. They are shadowing the clan's withdrawal. Their calls now are constant, a nerving perimeter of sound in the whispering grass. For 3 suns, the siege continues. Every hunt is spoiled. The stream they drank from is suddenly watched, forcing them to a stagnant pool. The berry patches are stalked. The raptors are not merely hunting near them. They are herding them. They are using the clan's own knowledge of the land against them, turning familiar paths into channels of fear. Their world, once a sprawling territory of opportunity, shrinks with every passing hour. They are being pushed back, systematically, towards the complex of caves that is their only sanctuary. Their spears and knives, the pinnacle of their osteodontocratic technology, feel useless. You cannot stab or whisper. You cannot fight an enemy who is always one step ahead, an enemy who learns. The clan is no longer the hunter. They are the prey, caught in a closing circle of intelligent, reptilian eyes. The cave now, there's a more shadow. And beyond it, the world belongs to the raptors. Inside, the people of the Red Ochre are ghosts huddled around a dying fire. Hunger gnaws at them, a dull light that sharpens fear. The constant, chittering calls of the velociraptors are a form of torture, a promise of swift death just beyond the firelight. For days, no one has dared to venture more than a stone's throw from the entrance. The siege is absolute. Kale sharpens a spear point with a flint shard, the scraping sound loud in the oppressive silence. He watches the others. He sees the hope draining from their eyes, replaced by a sullen, animal resignation. This is how a clan dies. Not in a glorious fight against an Allosaurus, but starved out, picked off one by predators to smart to face head-on. The whispers from the grass have become the voice of their extinction. Them, Elara speaks. Her own voice is a dry rasp, like leaves skittering over rock, but it cuts through the despair. She is the clan's memory. Her face a roadmap of famines and floods. She does not look towards the raptors. Her gaze is fixed on the valley floor below, where a different kind of power moves. I heard of Triceratops grazes there. A slow, moving fortress of muscle and bone. The whispers have us in a cage, she says, her bony finger tracing a shape in the dust. But a cage has a key, or it can be broken from the outside. The hunters stare at her, confused. To them, the herd is just another feature of the landscape, a lumbering danger to be avoided. They are a force of nature, like a thunderstorm or a rock slide. You do not challenge them. You give them a wide berth and thank the spirits they pass by. We will not be the hammer. And Lara continues, her eyes glinting with a feverish light. We will be the hand that aims it. Her plan unfolds, audacious and terrifying. They will use the Triceratops. They will provoke the bull, the immense leader with the scarred frill, then drive the entire herd up the narrow game trail. The same trail the raptors now use as their primary hunting corridor. The goal is not to kill the horned ones, but to unleash their blind, thundering rage as a weapon, a living avalanche of flesh and fury that will shatter the raptors' siege line. The clan looks from the old woman to the valley. They see the beasts stripping bark with their powerful keratin-OUS beaks, the ground trembling with their every step. The idea is madness. It is harnessing an earthquake, but it is also the only idea they have. The choice is between the certainty of being starved and bled dry by the raptors, and the terrifying possibility of being trampled into the mud by their own salvation. A flicker of something that is not despair enters Kayla's eyes. It is the cold, sharp glint of a desperate gamble. The execution begins at dusk, the hour of predators. Kayla and two others, the swiftest of the clan, descend from the high caves, their bodies smeared with mud and dung to mask their scent. They carry not spears of war, but torches of provocation, bundles of dry reeds bound tight. The bull Triceratops is a mountain of muscle. It's breathing a low rumble that seems to vibrate in Kayla's chest. The plan is simple in its insanity. Anger it. They light the torches, and the sudden flare of orange in the great twilight catches the bull's eye. A low growl issues from its throat. A young hunter hurls a rock, striking the beast's flank with a hollow thud. It is an insult. The bull's head, a three-horn battering ram, lifts slowly. Kale sprints forward, screaming a challenge, and throws his torch. It lands near the creature's young, a deliberate violation. But as the key, the bull explodes. They sound tears from its throat that is not animal, but geological. The sound of the earth itself splitting open. The ground shudders as the herd moves. It is not a run, but a force of pure momentum. The clan scrambles up the pre-planned escape route. A steep rock face they can climb, but the herd cannot. From this perch, they watch the cataclysm they have unleashed. The Triceratops thunder up the game trail. Their rage is singular, unthinking engine of destruction. The raptors, caught in the narrow path, are thrown into chaos. Their elegant siege line, their intelligent coordination, evaporates in the face of 9 tons of pure, stampeding fury. The first raptor is simply erased, trampled into the mud without a sound. Another leaps, only to be impaled on a sweeping horn. It is not a dinosaur fight. It is a scouring. The whispers are drowned out by the roar of the avalanche. When the last of the herd is past, a new silence falls. It is a silence of devastation. The trail is gone. The tall grass is flattened into a muddy ruin. The land itself is broken. The raptor pack is shattered. A few survivors limp away into the shadows, their eerie calls now sounding less like a threat and more like a lament. The people of the Red Ochre have survived. They look out over the broken ground, not in triumph, but in awe of the terrible power they have wielded. They are free, but the world they knew is gone, reshaped by their own desperate genius. This moment, viewed across an impossible gulf of time, is more than a single clan's survival in a savage, prehistoric world. It is a turning point in the epic of human evolution. The students of paleontology and anthropology will one day find shattered bones in this valley, and they will theorize about predator and prey. But they cannot escape the true fossil, the birth of an idea. This was the day that Homo sapiens, armed with fragile bodies and oversized minds, stopped merely reacting to the world and began to consciously manipulate its titanic forces. They did not defeat a monster with a sharper rock. They defeated it by turning another, greater monster into a living weapon. This desperate, terrifying gamble was the dawn of asymmetrical warfare, the first true expression of the strategic thinking that defines our species. The audacity to look upon an earthquake and not just seek shelter, but to aim it. Is that not the very blueprint for everything that followed? The instinct that looked at a river and saw a mill, at lightning and saw a fire, at the very atom and saw a star. It is the echo of a whisper in the grass, answered not with a spear, but with a landslide. This is the chronicle of the unlikely, because history does not belong to the strong. It belongs to the cunning. But intelligence is not a uniquely human fire.